Hey, Joe Zarzaur here with Dr. Malone. Today we're going to talk about audit trails. And people probably don't think about this very often, but when you go into a hospital or even a medical office, your doctor's office, dentist, whatever. Everybody's using electronic medical records. I think they're called EMRs, right? These are products. These are software products, right? There's not one EMR. There's various brands.
Levels, flavors.
Yes. What people don't think about, unlike paper, well, I guess when you had carbon copies of paper, you had multiple things of paper.
Yeah.
But most medical records in the past, it was one piece of paper, one person wrote on that piece of paper, and that was the medical record.
Yeah.
Well, now that everything's electronic, it has to be entered, right? So some human or some device has to enter the medical record into the person's EMR.
Yeah, whether it's
Typing, electronic,
or
dictating, or choosing from a list. Scroll down. Most of them have a list where you check off things.
Yeah, little radio buttons and stuff.
Right. And so then what happens is you have an EMR, and then you have the access log or all the front end data that was collected during the process, the input process for the medical records.
Yeah.
And that is called an audit trail as a general principle. And we have been successful in arguing in our cases that the audit trail for a person's EMR is actually part and parcel of the medical record. So when you go and you request your medical record, you should also be entitled to the audit trail. That's what we had to argue in a case recently. And Judge Shackelford agreed with us, and I think it's the law in Florida right now, that when you request your medical record, you're also entitled to the audit trail associated with that medical record, so you can see the comings and goings of people in your medical record, whether they're looking at it, whether they're adding stuff to it, subtracting, which is obviously relevant, right? Because I hate to say it, most doctors don't do this in a nefarious way. Most nurses don't do this in a nefarious way. But there is a percentage of doctors and nurses that will try to remove things from your medical record, especially after something bad happens.
Or modifications, which can be innocuous, where I clicked on Mr. instead of Mrs. With the drop downs, and it gets modified 2 days later.
Right, and who cares? And we'll see those changes too, right? But sometimes doctors will go in and say, oh, I forgot to tell the patient that there was a risk of an injury to their shoulder during the delivery. And I better add that now, because now we got a shoulder injury. And so guess what appears in the record, right? After the injury, okay? But on the EMR, you can't tell what time is done, right? You have to look at the audit trail to know, okay, that's when they did this. It's got a date and exact time with seconds as to when that change was made. So audit trails are really important, obviously, for medical malpractice cases, especially because we get to see who accessed the record, when they accessed the record. We had a case recently where the bad actor was checking the EMR of the patient after they were not their patient anymore for like a month or 2 months while the patient was not getting any better, unfortunately. And every day,
like clockwork,
the bad actor would log into the thing and say, I wonder how she's doing today, or how he's doing today, right? Obviously, it's relevant, right? So in our deposition, obviously, we're asking that person, well, why in the heck? If you're not treating this patient anymore, why are you so interested in this patient's medical chart? Every day for like 2 months. So obviously, the audit trail is a very important piece of information. It's important for you to know that you're entitled to it as part of your medical record, because it is part of your medical record. If you have questions about a medical malpractice case or specific questions about an audit trail, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.